You know what drives me crazy? Watching beginners excitedly dump their first paycheck into the hottest ETFs they saw on TikTok, while they're still paying 22% interest on credit cards and have zero emergency savings. They think they're getting ahead. They feel smart, but they're actually making the exact mistake that quietly destroys beginner wealth before it even has a chance to grow. Hey, my name is Alex, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, investing, and why most people accidentally sabotage their own financial future. If you're completely new to ETFs and you want to do this the right way in 2026 and beyond, stay with me, because today I'm giving you the simple 5-step system that turns total beginners into calm, confident, long-term investors. Here's the brutal truth most finance influencers won't tell you. You can research ETFs for weeks, pick what looks like a winner, even feel that rush of clicking buy. But if you skip the foundation first, it's like building a beautiful house on cracked concrete. Everything looks great for a while. Then the first market dip comes, and your whole portfolio starts sinking because the base was never solid. I've seen it happen to friends. One guy in 2024 loaded up on shiny tech ETFs right after a big run-up. 6 months later, the market corrected, and he panic sold at a loss, while still carrying $18,000 in high-interest debt that was costing him more every month than his ETFs were making. He thought he was investing. Reality, he was just gambling with money he couldn't afford to lose. That's the hidden killer for beginners, starting ETF investing in the wrong order. But here's the good news. There is a specific order your money should follow before you ever touch your first ETF. Get this sequence right, and you'll avoid 90% of the mistakes that wipe out new investors. Today, I'm walking you through the exact 5-step beginner ETF system I wish someone had shown me years ago. Stick with me. The next step is where most people make a huge mistake. Step 1. Secure your foundation first. Step 1 is non-negotiable, and it's the one almost every beginner skips. Before you buy a single ETF share, pay off all high-interest debt, anything over 7 to 8%, and build a 3 to 6 month emergency fund in a high-yield savings account. Why does this matter so much? Simple math that most people ignore. The average broad market ETF has returned about 9 to 10% annually over the long term. But if you're paying 20+% on credit cards, you're losing money faster than any ETF can grow it. Real example. $5,000 in credit card debt at 22% interest costs you roughly $1,100 a year. The same $5,000 in a low-cost ETF might earn $500 in a good year. You're still behind by $600 before you even start. Do this first, and you're no longer investing with stress, you're investing with confidence. Step 2. Understand what an ETF actually is. Step 2. Take 10 minutes to truly understand what you're buying. An ETF, exchange-traded fund, is simply a basket of many stocks or bonds that you can buy and sell like a single share. The best ones are extremely cheap, highly diversified, and incredibly efficient. But here's where things get interesting. Most beginners treat ETFs like individual hot stocks. They chase whatever sector is trending, AI, semiconductors, clean energy, hoping for 100% returns in a year. That excitement and impatience is exactly why the average ETF investor underperforms the market by 2 to 4% every single year, according to multiple studies. When you understand that great ETFs are boring, long-term tools for owning pieces of the entire economy, everything changes. Step 3. Start with the boring winners. Step 3 is the game changer for beginners. Start with broad, low-cost, total market ETFs instead of trying to pick winners. My top recommendations for beginners in 2026. VTI or ITOD, Total U.S. Stock Market. VXUS or IUSE, International Stocks. BND or AGG,
bonds for stability. These aren't sexy, they don't go viral on Reddit, but they've quietly delivered 9 to 10% average annual returns for decades. Real compounding example. Investing $400 per month into VTI at 9.5% average return. After 10 years, roughly $78,000. After 20 years, roughly $260,000. After 30 years, over $700,000. All from doing almost nothing except staying consistent. One of my students started with just $250 a month in 2018 into a simple 3-fund portfolio. Even with the 2020 crash and 2022 bear market, by early 2026, he had over $94,000. He never tried to time the market or pick hot sectors. This step matters because true wealth comes from owning the entire haystack, not trying to find the needle. Step 4. Automate everything with dollar-cost averaging. Step 4. Remove yourself from the emotional equation. Set up automatic monthly investments into your chosen ETFs. This is called dollar-cost averaging, buying fixed dollar amounts on a schedule no matter what the price is doing. Why it works so well? When the market is down, you automatically buy more shares cheaper. When the market is up, you buy fewer shares. Over time, your average cost per share stays reasonable. Vanguard and Morningstar studies both show that dollar-cost averaging beats trying to time the market for the vast majority of regular investors. Bonus tip inside this step, use a Roth IRA or traditional IRA if you qualify. The tax advantages are massive over 20 to 30 years. I've watched people who automated $300 to $500 a month completely change their family's financial trajectory in under a decade. Step 5. Review once a year and ignore the noise. Final step. This is what separates people who succeed long-term from those who quit. Once a year, log in, check your allocation has drifted more than 10 to 15%, rebalance if needed, and then close the app and live your life. The data is very clear from behavioral finance. The more frequently you check your portfolio, the worse your returns tend to be. Frequent checking increases anxiety and triggers emotional decisions. Create a simple one-page investment policy statement that says exactly what you'll do and when. This single document has saved many of my students from panic selling during crashes. Psychological insights. Here's the deeper truth most people never talk about. The problem isn't that beginners don't want to build wealth. It's that they crave the exciting parts, hot tips, massive green candles, I made 80% this year stories, while hating the boring foundation work. But the quiet truth is this. The investors who quietly follow the right order, stay consistent, and ignore the noise are the ones who wake up 10 to 15 years later with a portfolio that actually gives them freedom. So here's your clear action plan right now. Pause this video. Look at your credit cards and savings balance today. Make a plan to fix your foundation first. Once that's handled, open a brokerage account or retirement account. Start with 1 or 2 simple, broad ETFs and automate it. Wealth is not built by chasing the next shiny ETF. It's built by people who follow the right sequence, stay patient, and let the power of compounding do the heavy lifting. The investors who quietly stick to this system are the ones who eventually wake up one day financially free without ever needing to become Wall Street experts. Drop your biggest aha moment from this video in the comments. I genuinely read every single one. If you want my current beginner ETF list for 2026, just type list below. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that button and the bell, because we're breaking down the exact systems that turn regular people into wealthy ones. I'll see you in the next one.